Hi everyone, welcome to the Fantasy Hitting Planner. Lauren Shahadi alongside Scott White. Scott, I want to talk to you first about the American League. Carl Crawford out with a pinky injury or a finger injury. Rocco Baldelli taking his place. What do you do with Crawford?
Well, Crawford's probably going to be out for the season. He might come back that last weekend, but everything pretty much has to go perfect in his rehabilitation. Unless you have tons of DL slots, just cut him. Baldelli is back from that mitochondrial disorder, not swinging a hot bat. The guy I like more actually is Eric Hinsky, who's probably still going to sit more often than not against lefties, but you can bet they're going to have him in the lineup against righties now. Too much power to leave out.
All right, let's get straight to the good stuff. Behind the plate, you have Hernandez starting for the Orioles. He has an ongoing hitting streak and an OPS of over 900 since the All-Star break. Pretty impressive. Sitting Victor Martinez.
Yeah, Martinez is beginning a rehabilitation assignment this weekend. It's got to have plenty of people excited who held on to him all season, but I wouldn't start him just yet because he hasn't played since June. Probably going to be a little rusty. Let him prove himself first.
All right, hitting for power, though, that's always a good sign. First base, Miguel Cabrera. He's had an incredible second half, one of the hottest players in the second half, starting to look like the player you drafted in the first round. Sitting Chris Davis.
Davis isn't showing a whole lot of power in August, and he's taking offers at the plate more often than not. I'd probably sit him until he heated up again.
All right, at second base, you have Cabrera starting. He's racking up multiple hits in August. Can't ask for much more than that. Certainly worth starting in AL-only leagues. Mark Ellis sitting.
Mark Ellis doesn't have a single extra base hit in August, which makes that .230 batting average a lot harder to tolerate. I'd go ahead and sit him until he started showing power again.
All right, sitting at third base, you have Guillen. He's dealing with back spasms, all that. Already tried to come back from them once and couldn't. Willie Ibar, you have starting.
Yeah, Ibar is taking over for Evan Longoria, who is out with a fractured wrist. Ibar's not a terrific player, but he has better power than you'd expect from a utility infielder. He's worth a flyer just in AL-only leagues.
I like your start for shortstop, EDGAR Renteria out of Detroit. He's starting to hit more consistently in the second half, was better than he showed in the first half. Ramon Vasquez, though, not so much.
Well, Vasquez is going to lose at bats when Hank Blaylock comes off the DL this week, and he was losing at bats to Travis Metcalf anyway, so this shouldn't be a big, huge loss for anyone in fantasy.
All right, well, he's risky in the outfield. Sitting, you have Guillen. He either looks really good or really bad. Never a good thing. Looking pretty awful right now, hitting under 200 since June. Marlon Byrd, though, we have starting.
Yeah, Bird's on kind of a Dustin Pedroia-like hot streak where he's hitting over 600 in the last week, which is crazy good. Decent player, kind of a poor man's Bobby Abreu as long as he keeps getting regular bats in Texas. If that happens, you got to pick him up even in mixed leagues.
All right, Guillen, inconsistent. Inconsistency is never a good thing.
No.
All right, thanks, Scott. NL on the other side. We'll talk about it. Stick around. Welcome back to the show. We're talking NL hitters there, and the big story there is Carlos Lee out with a pinky injury. Is he going to be back? He's probably not going to be back for the rest of the season, so what do we do with him?
Well, I have a little more confidence, a little more optimism with him than I do with Crawford, but again, it's a situation where he'll maybe come back last week, so check to see how your league's playoffs work. Erstad's probably the biggest beneficiary there, but he's probably going to sit against left-handers, not much power and speed. Wigginton might move to the outfield some and allow Jeff Blum and Mark Loretta to play, but the bottom line here is there's not really any big winners. There's not anybody you want to pick up. The guy in your league who owns Lee just loses, and nobody gets anything.
All right, you have the Nats catcher sitting. Flores out because he's been cold since becoming the everyday catcher. Chris Snyder, though, he has been having a hot bat.
Yeah, it was a little cold coming right out of the break, but 2 home runs in the last week. You can bet the Diamondbacks are going to lean on him and give him as many at-bats as possible as they try to win the NL West.
The Nats just not looking so good in general.
No.
At first base, like you say, you need power at first base. Mike Jacobs, he's homered twice in the last week, 6 times already since the break. James Loney, not so much.
Yeah, Loney has only the 1 home run in August and hasn't really shown much power all season. So at first base, you need the power. It's not giving it to you. Why go with him?
All right, second base, you have Baker out of Colorado sitting. He's done nothing worthwhile in August. Jeff Kent, though, starting.
Yeah, Kent is batting in front of Manny Ramirez now, who is the best protection on the planet. Just ask Big Papi and J.D. Drew about that. Kent getting multiple hits more often than not now. Worth trusting again, despite his age.
All right, Daniel Murphy starting at third base for the Mets. He's a surprise rookie, showing plate discipline. You can't ask for more than that from a rookie. Jorge Cantu sitting.
Yeah, Cantu is hitting under 200 in August. He had emerged as a must-start this season, but until he gets his bat going again, I'd go ahead and sit him if you have viable alternatives.
All right, J.J. Hardy cold in August. After a red-hot July, you have him sitting. Omar Infante, though, starting.
Yeah, not only is Infante playing every day for the Braves, but he's batting cleanup sometimes, which shows you just how sorry their lineup is right now. But he doesn't have much power, not what you'd expect from a cleanup guy. Decent enough hitter to own in NL-only leagues, though, as long as he keeps playing regularly.
Also a decent hitter, Chase Headley. He's incredible. He's just on a tear. He's on a streak. He's walking more than he strikes out lately, which is also good. Josh Willingham, though, not so much.
Yeah, Willingham's done nothing but disappoint since coming back from a back injury in April. And since that's 2/3 of his seasons now, where he's done nothing but disappoint, 2/3 of his season where he's disappointed, it's amazing to me he's still owned in 65% of leagues. I probably would cut him in 55% of those. He's just not good right now.
All right, you heard it here. He knows what he's talking about. Thanks, guys, for joining us. We'll see you next time.